Okay, here's part two. So now the oil is done draining. As you saw, there was a drop coming out. So I'm going to show you right down here. I'm going to tighten this back up first. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. All the way. German torque, good and tight. And then I always have a rag handy to wipe any rogue oil. Okay, I'm going to hand the camera back to my brother so he can video the rest. Thank you. And so I'm just going to set this out of the way. It's going to go into the freezer. And now it's time to put new oil in here. If you want to zoom in up here, Scott, and show them, there's arrows pointing. It says oil level. So you see that little dot in the center there? That's where our oil should be when it's filled. We want the oil to be, the line to be right going through that center circle. The way I do this, and this will take a few minutes as well, because as you saw, it holds quite a bit of oil. This likes to spill. You want a tip like this because that's a tiny hole. You're going to make a big mess with anything larger. But I strongly advise keeping your finger on it like this, or you'll pour it all over that. I learned that the hard way several times. And just, I'll lift this up so you can see what's happening, but it's just chugging away. That's how it's coming out right now. And it'll take not a long time, but we'll turn this so y'all can kind of see when we're watching this window. And as you can see, there's some crud in there. That has happened over time, and that's just some of the debris that has gotten in there, I'm assuming from the freeze dryer, and I'm hoping eventually that'll come out with some of the used oil we drain. I don't know how it'll ever get out of that little window, but we will see.
I think there's a process for running a filter through the whole pump system.
Is there? Okay, so we'll do some research. We may figure out a way to clean the pump, and if we figure it out, we'll do a video to share with you guys on how to do it. So
just have to undo it from the machine, from the freeze dryer.
Right, which is pretty simple.
Want me to pause?
I want to tell them something. What I didn't mention, because I didn't realize my brother was going to talk to you guys too, is in the first part of this video, I said I did this and I did that on a lot of things. He actually, my brother did all the research for this whole process, and he's really good at that sort of thing, finding out the best way to make things last and take care of stuff. This is a very large investment, as I'm sure any of you that are watching this either own one or are considering buying one. You want to take care of it. Preventive maintenance is key, so it makes it last. So a freeze dryer without this air pump is just a freezer. So you need to be able to get that moisture out of there to dry the things. And the only way, you're going to keep this motor running is to keep the water and yuck out of it. And it will suck that in there every time. So I think it's a great thing that we change the oil on without fail. And we do not use it unless the oil is changed. We may get lazy and not change the oil after using it one time, but we will not turn it on again until that oil is changed. So I think that's a good rule. It has done us right so far, and we've freeze dried all kinds of things. But one thing, you need to make sure you have the right kind of oil. Scott, you want to tell them about the oil? Because I know you ordered this. Do you remember? I mean, they can read the label right there. Vacuum pump oil. This Black Gold is this brand. I don't think the brand really matters.
I don't even remember where I read the documentation, if this was a link off of Harvest Right, or...
You probably got it off of the...
documentation. It may have been with the
Vacuum Pumps website or something. Because this pump, it says right here, it's made in the USA. Economy Vacuum Pump Eliminator. The thing is pretty noisy, but...
No,
do you want to pause it so they don't have to keep watching? Okay, so I just stopped this because I didn't want you guys to miss it. Because once it starts getting in this window, it happens really quickly. It wasn't even a second. And as you can see there, it's almost to the halfway mark. So I'm going to just... I can't... Just keep an eye on it. Keep my finger close to stop it. But as you can see, it's getting really close to that middle mark. And it's okay, too, to go all the way up and cover the circle. But halfway through is what the directions said. So I tried to get it right there. That's good, I think. I'm going to get this out of the way. So when you look closer, it's actually, once the oil settled, it's actually at the top of the circle, which is fine. So, the next thing you do is just replace the cap on top. I'm going to wipe away, there's a little bit of oil residue right there. Make sure when you're doing that you feel it and get your threads lined up. You don't want something that's expensive. You don't want to get it in there the wrong way and cross thread your cap and ruin it. I don't even want to think about how fun that would be to try to tap out the threads and all that, or find a new cap. Okay, so this is ready to go. Now the next thing we would do is, and we're going to do in a few minutes, we might do another video for that, is we will put our trays in here and hit the start button and it'll go. So we'll do another video for that. Thanks for watching. This is Color Crafters and our part 2 on the Harvest Right oil change.